June 6, 1944, the day that includes one of history's most pivotal moments known to man, the D-Day invasion. That day, Allied forces launched an immense invasion known as Operation Overlord on 5 Nazi-occupied beaches along the European west coast. Among those Allied groups was a regiment from New Brunswick known as the North Shore Regiment. The North Shore New Brunswick Regiment was assigned to land on Juno Beach, one of 5 enemy-controlled beaches located in the region of Normandy, France. 80 years later, we commemorate, honor the bravery of the soldiers who stormed Juno Beach, and let the legacy of the individuals who served with the North Shore Regiment live on. Le North Shore Regiment est une unité d'infanterie de réserve de l'armée canadienne basée au Nouveau-Brunswick. Créée en 1871, il possède une riche histoire d'ayant servi dans divers conflits, notamment lors des 2 guerres mondiales et des missions qui maintiennent de la paix. Le régiment est connu pour ses liens solides avec la communauté et l'importance qu'il accorde au développement du leadership, à la formation des soldats locaux, tout en préservant ses traditions historiques. Aujourd'hui, il continue de jouer un rôle essentiel dans le soutien des forces armées canadiennes et dans l'engagement auprès des communautés locales.
John Archibald McNaughton, better known as Archie, was born and raised in Black River Bridge, Northumberland County, New Brunswick. He was the oldest of the 4 children John and Maria McNaughton had. Growing up, Archie worked on his family farm and was a member of the United Church of Canada. At age 19, on November 5, 1915, Archie enlisted in the First World War, where he served as a private in Belgium and France until he was discharged in 1919. In 1929, Archie married Grace Helen, and the two had started their own family in Black River, having 2 kids. Archie farmed his own land and was active in teaching Sunday school, all while every summer Archie made sure to attend the North Shore yearly training camps. When the Second World War broke out in 1939, Archie, at the age of 43, couldn't bear to see the boys fight alone, so he traveled to Chatham, New Brunswick to enlist on June 7, 1940. McNaughton was promoted to Major of the North Shore Regiment by September.
On D-Day, over 156,000 troops landed in Normandy. The beaches were divided into 5 sectors. The Canadian 8th Infantry Brigade, including the North Shore Regiment, were to land at Nan Red, which was codenamed for Juno Beach. They faced fierce resistance but were determined to secure their objectives. Extensive planning included deception tactics to mislead German forces, contributing to the success of the landings. Despite meticulous preparation, the invasion was met with heavy fire, especially at Juno Beach, where the North Shore Regiment fought valiantly, sustaining casualties but ultimately pushing forward. The success of D-Day established a crucial foothold in Europe, leading to the liberation of France and the eventual defeat of Nazi Germany.
D-Day is the beginning of the end of World War II. Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister, said it a little differently. He said it's not the end, it's not the beginning of the end, but it might very well be the end of the beginning. It is kind of the turning point where finally the Allies get a hold in Europe. They kind of realize that, the end is coming, that Hitler will be defeated. The tide is turning. It's probably the moment where hope returned and they realized the world was going to go back to normal.
Le secteur de Tailleville était l'un des cibles du North Shore Regiment. Lorsque les troupes de la compagnie C de Major Donny arrivèrent dans l'après-midi, elles trouvèrent un feu particulièrement violent. Les soldats canadiens livrèrent une vaillante résistance au régiment de grenadiers. Combat firent rage jusqu'à la tombée de la nuit, avant que la position allemande tombe finalement aux mains des Alliés. 34 soldats canadiens furent tués, dont McNaughton et Daly. 90 autres furent blessés lors de la prise de Tailleville.
I am Deb McDonald. I am a teacher here at James M. Hill Memorial High School in Miramichi, and I was very honored to get to go on the trip with our students as a part of the EF tour. However, personally, I was so grateful that James M. Hill allowed me to go as a chaperone because I was able to follow the footsteps of my great uncles. So the Daly boys all landed on the Juno Beach that day, June 6, 1944. Harold made his way to Tailleville, just up the road from Juno Beach. So Harold goes to Tyville, and he is with a group of men led by Archie McNaughton, who is also from Miramichi. And they get to Tyville and they turn a corner and there is a sniper there. And unfortunately, the three or four of those men in that group passed away.
Archie McNaughton was like a father figure to a lot of those guys. And I get the sense he was also to my grandfather, though he never really came out and said as much. When just kind of a backstory, my grandfather was 15 when he enlisted in Chatham in 1940. My grandfather spoke about it many times when that machine gun opened up on them in Tyville. The reason he survived is because Archie was standing in front of him. So I'm very forever indebted to Archie.
On June 6, 1944, after storming Juno Beach, A Company, led by Archie, made their way to a near town, Saint-Aubin-sur-Mer, where Archie was shot in the hand, but bandaged it up himself and did not get any medical treatment and also chose to tell no one. Archie continued to lead A Company to Tyville. While in Tyville, the North Shore were met by unexpected German troops and now were in their direct line of fire. While Archie was directing the A Company, he was shot dead. Major John Archibald McNaughton was the only North Shore officer to lose his life on D-Day. Major John Archibald McNaughton now peacefully rests at Benny-sur-Mer, next to fellow members of his company, Harold Daly and Arthur Strang, along with other North Shore soldiers.
The Anglophone North School District's students and teachers had the opportunity to attend the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings at Juno Beach to honor all those who fought to liberate Europe.
And sometimes it gets missed because these North Shore guys are just a bunch of country boys. How do country boys who farm, fish, and lumberjack accomplish something like this? But yet the free world asked them to do this, and they did it knowing, and they were told this, that 2 out of every 5 of them landing that day weren't going to make it.
This gave us an emotional opportunity to walk in the footsteps 80 years later of our local heroes, the North Shore Regiment. For some, this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance to follow the path of a relative who had fought to give us the freedom we have today.
This anniversary was an opportunity to honor the bravery and sacrifices of those who served, including the members of the North Shore Regiment, and to reflect on the lasting impact of their actions on the course of history.
Divers événements et cérémonies ont été organisés pour rendre l'hommage à leur contribution et pour sensibiliser les générations futures à l'importance de Georgie. The North Shore Regiment occupe une place particulière dans nos cœurs en raison des liens profonds de notre communauté avec ses soldats. Alors que nous célébrons le 80e anniversaire de leur contribution courageuse, nous réfléchissons au immense sacrifice que ces braves hommes ont fait pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale, en particulier pendant le débarquement de Georgie à Juno Beach. Leur dévouement et leur résilience continuent de nous inspirer et c'est un honneur de se souvenir et de célébrer leur héritage, en veillant à ce que leur histoire soit transmise aux générations futures avec le respect qu'elles méritent.
Humbling.
Transformé. Educational, because it was such a learning experience.
Mémorable.
Gratitude.
Espionage.
Heartbreaking, interessant, emotional, historic.